Okay, hey folks, and welcome to another ICHT video. Pretty obvious what this video is all about. You've seen the title anyway. But I've been getting inundated with questions about the layouts and the projects that all started last year and the year before, but then never got finished because we got a phone call saying, hey, you need to get ready for kids. And of course that never happened yet. So I've been asked if I'm going to continue with the Inglenook Engage puzzle project, and of course I am. It's been holding up the redecoration of the whole bedroom, so yes, I'm definitely going to continue with that. And I've been asked about the proper layout, so at when the time is right, I will take you into the proper layout room and you will see where I'm up to and what the next steps are basically. But there's a third one. There's this one, the Your Model Railway Village, which was started back in about 1866 or something. And I've got to continue with this now. I think I got up to, oh gosh, was it part 7? No, 17. That's it. I think I got up to 17. So the next one is 18. As you can see, it's all organised, it's all ready to go. So we actually want this one here. Here we go. Yes. There it is. Number 18 of 100 and... oh my gosh, how many? 70, 90, 120. Right. Yeah. So I'm not even at the 20, never mind the 100. And then, of course, we've got the Model Railway Village accessories box. So this should have every bit of platform, every bit of station, all the stuff I've built. So yeah, you've got some station platforms here. Random block of polystyrene, which I kept because I thought maybe I can carve into it and use it for scenery and stuff. I've seen people do that. Some level crossings. Do you folks remember this? Gosh, I think it's an Airfix kit, isn't it? It's basically, it's supposed to be part of a World War II diorama, but I bought it to test the different colours of bricks because I was mixing up my own colours, wasn't I? So that's why I bought that. And then after doing that, I started to work on this, which, as you can see, still needs finishing off. It's still whitewashed, although that's yellowed ever so slightly. But I need to finish off painting the brickwork on that. Oh, it's a good job all these packets are filled with... well, actually, I was going to say it's a good job they're filled with green stuff. Yeah, enough about that. We've got roofs, is it roofs? Roofs? And then of course there's this huge station house which I did paint and I did work on. I'm quite proud of that one. And I've even put on some signage in certain places which wasn't part of the original instructions. I bought those myself. I went out and bought some British Railways railway posters and put them on. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Obviously they could do with a bit of touching up and they could do with a bit of weathering to make them really realistic. But they're still here, they're still good to go. So, as you can see, I'm clearly ready to continue. Okay, here we go. Part 18, we're carrying on. Apologies if you can hear the noise of a fan in the background. I hope it's not too loud. I suppose I could turn it down a little bit. That might help. No, actually that's making it go louder. Sorry, yeah, it's got to be over 30 degrees in this conservatory today. I am cooking live. I feel like a lobster or something. So, part 18. Right, what do you get? Well, it looks like you get a load of figures. It looks like you get a section of track. And oh, we get a couple of buffers. Okay. Okay, hey folks, I'm back. Sorry, I've had to reshoot this entire section for a second time because basically I've got the fan on. Well, I had the fan on in here in the conservatory because it is so hot. And even though you couldn't hear the fan, you could hear the wind noise from the air that the fan was blowing, so the whole video was just useless basically. So apologies for that. Hopefully it's much clearer now, and I shall just have to get through this bit really quickly again for you. Okay, so I'm back. Right, let's do this then. So yes, you get a couple of these cheapy buffers, which Hornby have been making for decades now, but they're genuinely not too bad. They genuinely aren't too bad. If you spray them and weather them, you can make them look really, really quite good, so that's fine. And then you get some characters, some little station figures, and really bizarrely, they're all looking the wrong way, apart from that one guy there. He's looking right at me. The others can't be interested, don't care that they're on camera, just, I mean, amateurs. And then there's another section of one of these pieces of track, which I've been told are very average in quality. As long as they do the job, as long as the loco runs on it okay, I'm going to be happy, but it is annoying that they don't conform to the same standards, well, the same lengths as the Hornby stuff and the Pico stuff, so it's a little bit annoying, but hopefully it will be okay. If not, I'll probably be replacing the whole lot. So, in part 18, it is supposed to be going on about building your model railway, so cutting a base panel for the village green, and then there's a section on the LNER, and then finally it finishes up with a look at the railway writer and photographer Collin Garratt. He looks back to his time as a railway clerk in the Midlands during the last days of steam in the 1950s. Well, it was technically the 1960s, wasn't it? But I suppose, yes, they started retiring many, many steam locos in the 50s. So that's what this particular issue covers. 18, number 18. It's not that much, really. It's quite thin. Right, okay, we're back. Yes, I've swung the camera right round to the other side of the conservatory because it's just seriously so hot in here. It's... I should really be on strike and refusing to work in these conditions, but there we go. That's dedication for you. Okay, so cutting a base panel for the village green. Okay, the village green is made from balsa wood, stuck down onto... The heck it is? Balsa wood? There's no balsa wood here. I've got to supply that myself. Parts supplied with this issue, 2 sets of buffers, got 5 passengers for the station platform. Well, they can't even count. Hang on. 5 passengers for the station platform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they've actually... Whoa, that is freaky. Some of them have spun around. That is so freaky. Suddenly half of them are looking at me, and there's 6, not 5. Okay, kinda totally freaked out by those. Oh, get away, go! And then a length of straight track. But I don't get it. There is no balsa wood, and I don't even see the plan. Now, is this something I've already looked at? Was this covered in a previous issue, or is it actually continued in the next issue? I genuinely can't see it. Okay, it talks about identify the section of the plan that forms the village green on quadrant 1. Received with issue 1. Cut out the area indicated. Cut a piece of grey card slightly larger than the area of the green, and then you need to tape this and basically stick it down onto some balsa wood, which I'm pretty sure they haven't provided, but maybe that is mentioned in another part. Don't worry, I will go back through the previous issues, I will go through my box of accessories, and I will find out exactly how we're to do this, and then that will pop up as like an 18A, maybe, or something. Moving on, the LNER. Okay, the LNER, now the timing for this is just spot on. I mean, really. I mean, the LNER have just come back to life, haven't they? Basically, the East Coast franchise was run by Virgin for a little bit, but then through, I don't know why, but maybe it's due to financial reasons, it's been nationalised again, so the LNER is back, it's under government control, which is really, really cool, but obviously not cool because it means that maybe it's got financial difficulties, maybe it means people have lost their jobs, people have had to change jobs, I'm not too sure, I couldn't tell you, I will not profess to be the expert there, but the LNER historically certainly needs no introduction. We all know who the LNER are. I mean, they're famous for locomotives such as this A4 here, the Silverlink. They're famous for Mallard, of course, which is again very, very good timing because it's Mellard is celebrating 80 years this year, so that's really, really good timing. There's even a beautiful photo up here of an A3 papyrus, built in 1929. It achieved fame in 1935 with a high-speed run between King's Cross and Newcastle in just 3 hours, 47 and a half minutes. Notice how important the half is, those 30 seconds. Paving the way for the LNER's first streamlined express, the Silver Jubilee, later that same year. So, obviously, notable figures are Nigel Gresley. Again, just like the LNER really, needs no introduction. If you're watching this video, you're probably into trains. If you're probably into trains, you've probably heard of the LNER. If you've heard of the LNER, you've probably heard of Nigel Gresley. Sir Nigel Gresley, I'm pretty sure it is. CME, Chief Mechanical Engineer of the Great Northern. But then obviously companies changed and he went on to basically be the guy behind the LNER, so very, very important guy. Interestingly, does talk here about financial woes. It talks that despite all of its innovation and popularity and fame and everything, it struggled to make money. And that seems to be the case still today. Very interesting. I mean, what does that actually say? Including the proposed electrification of Line York, Newcastle and electrification of the Jazz suburban services out of London Liverpool station. Another important scheme that did not get off the drawing board was the Woodhead Tunnel. Of course, the heavy coal route over the Pennines, which in common with the Jazz service was delayed by World War II. Oh, so that's not really their fault then. The LNER was in existence for exactly 25 years, from the grouping of 1923 until the nationalisation in 1948, when the company was carved up into British Railways, Eastern, Northern and Scottish. Okay, very interesting. I doubt it's going to teach me anything new, because I'm pretty well genned up on the LNER and quite a few of the other railway companies, but nevertheless I shall read it and extract from it as much as I can. Finally then, Tales of the Railway. So this particular section takes a look at the work of Colin Garratt, who was apparently someone who worked as a clerk for the Midland Railway Company way back. Well, in the Midland region, I think. He was a writer and a photographer in the 1950s, and so basically, I don't know if these are his photos. I'm hoping they are. They probably are, actually. I should imagine so. But what's really cool about it back then is that it really was a hobby. It really was a passion, an interest, you know. You couldn't just whip out a smartphone back then and snap away a few photos and stuff. You had to really know what you were doing and carry around a huge piece of equipment in most cases. But the payoff is that many of these photos are just wonderful and so precious today. Just look at this one here. What's it say about that? Below, the smelly bone. Oh gosh, so it's something to do with cattle. Number 58298 at Wigston South, the train carried cattle bones from the abattoir south of Leicester Station to the glue factory near East Langton. Ew, gross. So basically this train's full of chopped up dead bits of animals. Oh. Well, do you know what? I mean, it goes on. It went on. There you go. It's one of those things. And then there's a photo up here of Bernhard Robinson, one of the team of respected Leicester Midland drivers. He's photographed here with 460 Jubilee. Very nice. Prior to working a hockey special to Wembley in the early 1960s. Huh? How cool. I do love this photo though. This is my favourite thing about the whole section. This photo here. Just look at that. Wow. It's apparently Leicester Midland Motive Power Depot in the early 1960s. It says the office and administration block is visible right in the centre. Both of these places would have been very familiar to Collin Garratt during his time as a clerk. I just love the gigantic cola over on the left. All the multiple lines, or roads as they were called, that go into the sidings. No electrification anywhere to speak of. And then just to make it proper, almost northern and industrial, you've got this row of terraced houses all the way across the top. Well, they technically might not be terraced, but they're certainly railway workers' houses, you know, very small, 2 up, 2 down sort of thing. It's just classic, isn't it? You can't get much more British than that. If you still wanted to see a scene like this, I suppose technically you could go to parts of China. There's probably parts of India, maybe parts of South America. where similar scenes are still happening, but they're not. They're not going to be like this. Okay, so a little bit of railway history from a railway enthusiast. A little bit of background information on the LNER. I'm sure they will return and give us more information on those soon. And then this really, really strange thing about the Village Green, where I think I've got to go off to B&Q, other DIY stores are available, and get some balsa wood or something. So, there we have it. Apart from the really dodgy people that come to life in the middle of the night, that is number 18. So, yeah, you're going to see me get to do bits of that, I suppose, and I shall go get this edited, and then I will see you in the next video. Hey peeps, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. It's always good to think outside the box.